What it do, fam? What going on? Y'all looking all Baja fresh. Don't look at none of that. Don't look at my tools. Don't look at none of that. None of that. That's right. I gotta step in here real quick. I'm gonna be on Moorish World TV tonight, but you know, I gotta step in here real quick. I want y'all to share this, you know, to all of these scholars, all of these so-called scholars. It seems to me, and I'm speaking to all these Moorish people that claim to be so sharp in the lessons. First of all, let's do it like this. Can y'all see me clear? First of all, let's do it like this. Let's stop acting like that if we disagree on information. What's up, Jay Hammer? Islam, sis. I meant to give you a call too to check on you. I see you out there moving and shaking. Let's not act as if we disagree on information that it's war. That is the fakest cop out I've ever seen in my life. That if we disagree on information, that we act like it's war. No. Without someone refuting or disputing your information, there will be no path for the ultimate truth. That is the fakest cop out that I've ever seen. That a brother like me say, well, this is the history. This is the fact. We say in the Moorish Science Temple of America that we are descended from this. We are descended from that. That's indicative of yesterday's information confirming us today. But when we look at the organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and we look at the past atrocities and what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America, we say, oh, why you always want to talk about that? Why? Because yesterday confirms today. You see? So that's one thing that I got to get off my chest. Because, you know, I did a little presentation yesterday, and not many appreciated it. But I seen a few stragglers lurking in the shadows with their little, that's not this, that's not this. But whenever I see that, whether on social media, wherever I see that, whether on Facebook or whether on YouTube, these same people that got the chitter chatter boxes, they never step up and say, well, this is the truth. And then their excuse is, oh, you just want to get some views. Well, why would you even come on my post if that's your perception of me? Why would you even come on my post and make a comment if you're not going to stand on what you say to be true? That's the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life, that you won't stand on what you say to be true. Yet, you come on my comment section and then you make comments as if I'm telling an untruth. Man, we need to do better. We need to do better. At the end of the day, I am going to drag your misinformation. I'm going to drag it. I'm going to drag your misinformation that you have been practicing, believing, and studying for years. I'm going to drag it. And I'm to the point now, and I'm at the stage that I don't have no patience. I have no patience for ignorance. I have no patience for misinformation, disinformation. I have no patience for people who are covering information. So I don't care if we've been friends for 5 years, for 20 years. If you have misinformation, disinformation, and you disagree with my presentation, only two things you can do. You can show me where I'm wrong, or we might not be friends no more on your account. You're still my friend. You're still my brother. It's information. You know what I'm saying? But you might not like me no more after 2023. You know what I'm saying? And you might not like me no more after 2023. Because 2023, I'm calling names, I'm calling out issues, and I'm calling out information. So you might not like me no more after 2023. Now, the point that I am trying to do is, what I'm doing is this. I'm not trying to recruit anybody membership, because the last 10 or 15 years have already proven what membership in each administration. This is a Moorish conversation. The membership in each administration show and prove what they're going to do and what they're going to produce. Therefore, I'm not trying to do that. What I'm doing is I'm putting a measure out there. You see what I'm saying? I'm putting a measure out there that the new generation, and I'm gonna say that question in a second. I'm putting information out there that the new generation that's interested in doing the work that is called under the banner of the Moorish Science Temple of America, under the flag of the Moorish Science Temple of America, whatever you choose to call it, that they will have the real information. And they will know how to organize as a collective. They will know how to move politically. They will know how to move economically. They will know how to move spiritually as it relates to the teaching of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, uncut, unfiltered. Say that ask a question. I'm just driving. I'm getting me some lunch. I'm just driving, man. But I've seen a couple people, Guy Fuller Bay, Sanchez Bay. They be coming off my. I'm just blocking them off the top because they don't want to step up to the plate and debate what they think they know. But my brother say that, or whoever say that is said, would a person be wasting their time and joining a temple today, as most operate off of some sort of lie, perhaps? All this seems conflicting regarding we all about the work. I think where you waste time is when you join a temple and you already know it don't have the spirit of the prophet in it, and you just stick with it until you are indoctrinated that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Because all of these administrations out here, the prophet lessons are clear. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America is clear that we should be teaching the omnipotence of man. That means that man has unlimited power. You know what I mean? That Allah and man at one. Allah and man are one. That God has divine power on high and that man has divine power on earth. You feel what I'm saying? That God and man are one. Now, I don't care what the Sunni brothers would say about that. I don't care what our Christian brothers and sisters would say about that. But if you claim to be studying the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and you claim to be a divine minister or a sheikh, studying the teachings and teaching the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, your directive is to teach the omnipotence of man. That man has unlimited power. That's from a spiritual point of view. And on the flip side of that, you are here to teach nationality. You know what I mean? So we just went over a synopsis of divine creed, if you will, but you are here to teach nationality. That all people on earth got a nationality. What's yours? You are here to teach nationality. Many people like to take the nationality part and then miss out on the spiritual part. And so, again, if you're saying that you are a representative of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and you're not telling people these pure, uncut truths in 2023, it should be a problem. And when you join and you singing and you doing, there ain't nothing wrong with singing, but you singing and you feeling like that you've been right in the church with grandma, then most likely you are in the church with grandma. And there is nothing wrong with being in the church with grandma, but don't confuse it with the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what I'm saying? I go church with grandma if I had the ability to. I go church with my mom if I got the ability to. No problem with that. But I'm not going to confuse the two. You see, I'm not going to confuse the two. So, when I look at the history of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I think it's very important that the new generation come in knowing that there has been a takeover, that there has been an infiltration, that there has been misinformation from this infiltration that carry on until today. That this infiltration started at the time of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and it carries over until today. It still exists today. And this is why the Moorish Temple of America, under that name, has always been the stepchild to all of these other groups that come out on the forefront. Because no one wants to look at the past and reconcile the past and move into the future. See, I'm willing to look at the past and reconcile it and move into the future. Many people try to cover it up, try to hide it. Many people try to act like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Many people try to act like they're not still a part of the groups that is founded on a shaky, devilish foundation. Well, if you are founded on a shaky, devilish foundation, there is no way that you'll be able to walk into the divine. The first thing you have to do is reconcile that devilish foundation. And the devilish foundation is what I'm saying was what I mean is that the those that was with the prophet wanted to overthrow the prophet. Those that tried to set the prophet up, they failed with accusing him of rape and molestation. You see, I'm ready to talk about all that. They failed at that. So ultimately, the next step was to X him out physically. You know. And we got to reconcile that. And that same group is here today on that spirit or on that vibration. And this is the reason why the Moorish Temple of America has been the stepchild of the Hebrew Israelites, have been the stepchild of the Nation of Islam, has been the stepchild of even the Christian church, has been the stepchild. Because we refuse to recognize our past errors. The moment that it tells us in our Quran that if you don't pull yourself together in one short breath, Allah will leave you, and a foreigner from afar will take over and control you. And I'm paraphrasing, but we see that to be true. We see it to be true. That when you speak of the Moorish Temple of America, that's all you think about is a Taj Tariq Bey, misinformation, a right to travel, and Moore's no law. When that is not even close to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Not even close. But because people have set back and allowed this misinformation to flourish, now that is the measure of what people see to be the Moorish Temple of America's teachings. And that's insane. And that's insane. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. So now I say, listen, no more just sit around on the sideline and let this misinformation flourish. Let's call it out. Let's call it out. And if I'm wrong, check me. I'm going to fix myself, but show me where I'm wrong. But nowadays, people don't like to be called out. You know what I mean? People don't like to be called out because once you're called out, you have a responsibility. Your responsibility is to fix yourself. Your responsibility is if you hear the call out, your responsibility is to ask your leader, what about this? What about that? You know what I'm saying? And you don't let your leader sit up there and tell you, oh, that's just Tahaka Bay. He's doing it for views. He's doing it for views. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me tell you something. If I'm doing it for views, won't you come and shut me down and you take the people where they need to go? Prove that I'm lying with the information that I put out. That would shut me down. That embarrassed me. Embarrass me. Show me that I'm lying. Show me that I'm lying about authority. Show that I'm lying about charters. Show that I'm lying about the position that I stand as Grand Sheik and Chairman. Show me I'm lying. Show me before the world. Show the world that I'm lying. Embarrass me. And shut me up. You know that's impossible. You know that's impossible. See, the quickest way to shut up a person like me is to prove me wrong. Make me apologize. Make me, as you would try to say, humble myself. Now, and I'm not arrogant by a long shot, but my patience has run thin. We've been traveling this road. If you've been on this road as long as I have, and if you've been on this road longer than we've been on this road far too long. If you've been on this road for 3 years or 5 years, that's far too long to be trying to figure this out. For the ones that was with Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they didn't know all the sciences that the prophet was teaching, but they knew how to fall in line so they could move in one accord. And so in a short 3 years, they accomplished a whole bunch. You know what I mean? They accomplished a whole bunch. You follow me? But we don't even know how to fall in line with truth. We don't even know how to, like, you might dislike a Tahaka Bay, but let me tell you something. You should go with the truth as it is spoken. And you should support truth. See, that's what happened during the time of all the prophets. You know what I mean? We should be imitating the prophets. That's what happened during the time of the prophets. That the prophets was speaking so raw that those that thought they knew something wanted to silence them and shut them down. You know what I mean? They go Eric Thompson Bay. Eric Thompson Bay, brother, you didn't call me, brother. Eric Thompson Bay had an event and didn't even call me. And now he gonna flip the script like he called me. You didn't text or call me. I don't want to hear that. That brother tripping. Eric Thompson Bay, man. I'm over it. I'm over it. Anyway, I'm back to the truth. And I mean, right now, we are in the age of Aquarius. We are in the age to reveal this information in its purest form. For those who do not care, this is not for you. For those who do not care of the historicity of the Moorish Science Temple of America and don't care about the importance of it, this is not for you. For those who I seen a post the other day where it says somebody honored all the grand sheiks, Miliel, Kirkman Bay, the resurrection and reincarnated and all that. And I say, how does that work? Because at some point, we have to reconcile our differences, of course, and we have to your way be my way and to my way be yours. However, at some point, if you follow one thing, the other one may not line up to it. So stand on what you follow and give respect. Respect is different than honor. Honor is validating something to be right and exact. Respect is, I respect you as a man, I respect your opinion, but you are false. You are false. Like we can't see, we should have these conversations. You know what I mean? But the moment that we have these conversations, right, what'll happen is people get sensitive. People get really emotional, you know, because they like, oh man, I've been drinking this juice all this time. Man, I don't even care about it, man. Man, that's your thing. This my thing. I've been drinking this juice all the time. Yeah, you've been drinking the juice. Yeah, you be drinking the juice. And most people that drink the juice, right, they'll start doing all the uplifting acts and they'll be by themselves. You know what I'm saying? They'll be by themselves and talking about, I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work. They be by themselves doing the work because they drink the juice. See, this work isn't meant for you to do by yourself. You know what I mean? All the great work that we see, it's not meant to do by yourself. This is an organization that's destined to metamorphose into a nation. Therefore, we need all hands on deck. We need one aim, one destiny, one God. You can't be going this way with the 1320. I'm going this way with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm going this way with Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and you going this way with something else. Nah, one aim, one destiny, one God. What made the Prophet Noble Drew Ali successful is what we should be trying to master. What made the Prophet Noble Drew Ali move so fast in a short period of time from 25 to 28 and going out in 29? That's what we should be doing because that's the only successful model. There is no other successful model. I don't care what nobody say. There is no other successful model. And listen, this makes Brother Tahaka Bay not unique, but unique where you can check me. I'm saying that I desire to do this just like the prophet did it. His successful years from 25 to 29, which I call the divine ministry, I decided that we need to focus and zero in on those footprints, because those footprints showed how a man would stand in the parking lot and have a multi-million-dollar religious corporation where all the members played their part to make sure there was schools, there was grocery stores, to make sure there was literary contests, to make sure there was art contests, to make sure that there was enrichment. You know what I'm saying? For all the children, to make sure that the children was enriched, to make sure that the community would patronize their products and services. You see what I'm saying? Like this is not rocket science. This is not rocket science. We make it harder than what it is. We make it harder than what it is. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm to the point right now that I think it's going to take a couple more generations to get it. I really do. I think it's going to take a couple of more generations to get how to move as a collective to throw off this oppression. I think it's going to take a couple more generations, because I've been around and I've been watching. I'm like, man, somebody don't like me because I'm loud. Somebody don't like me because the way that I express these lessons with so much passion. But am I wrong? But am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like me because I say, you know what? I'm not following these fakes and these frauds. I'm not validating these fakes and these frauds no more. Don't ask me, is there a temple in such and such? No. Don't ask me, is there a Moorish Science Temple in this state? If you want to join the Moorish Science Temple of America and get the pure, unadulterated teachings, I'm going to stick my chest out and say, hit joinnoble-temples@gmail.com. And if you got the patience to learn, if you got the fortitude to step up and do this work that need to be done to help follow humanity, then come on. But I'm not directing you to none of these temples no more. I'm not directing, because I used to do that. And I watched some of the strongest intellectuals be dumbed down. I watched some of the strongest Moors as it relates to the history of what the Moors are and what they supposed to be. I watched them just melt and just dumb down. Nah, we got to take this thing. We got to take this thing now. Now, I ain't sending nobody. Don't ask me if no. You know what? Say to Akabe, how do I join? Say to Akabe, what do I need to do? Say to Akabe, what? And let me tell you something. I'm not talking to those that's already of these grand bodies. Trust me, I'm not. I come from the young, the unborn, and the willing. The unborn in the mind, the youthful of the mind that's ready, that got the energy to do what it takes to accomplish something that we can pass to the next generation. And the willing. If you are a part one of these little crazy outfits, you just got to be willing to empty your cup and come on. Empty your cup and come and tie your camel. Come on. See, I'm not going to pussyfoot around the truth no more. A lot of these organizations has dumbed our people down. A lot of these organizations and administrations calling themselves the Moorish Science Temple of America has made our brothers and sisters who should be strong as Hannibal. They have made them soft as the tooth fairy. They made them soft as the tooth fairy. The Moors that ran up in Spain, they wasn't no soft-spoken, docile group of people. They made them soft. They're soft. They soft. I'm calling a spade a spade. They are soft. The Moors that was able to traverse the globe and teach the sciences of the universe, they was hard. They took chances. They took what you call risk, but it wasn't a risk at all because they had the confidence that the universal creator had their back. But today, man, they don't take no risk. They stay in a safe space. They're not going to ask their Grand Sheik. Grand Sheik, that don't sound right. They're going to sit up there and say, praise Allah. Praise Allah. But man, listen, I ain't with that no more. I ain't making, man, I used to try to be tolerant and make friends when I know that the information was wrong. Now, I'm like, you still my friend, but don't ask me no questions Don't ask me no questions, because the truth, it could bruise our friendship if you are not able to receive it. So just don't ask me no questions. Don't ask me no questions about the prophet. Don't ask me no questions about more science. Don't ask me no questions about anything as relates to this movement if you believe that you can't handle the truth. Because the truth might not always agree with you, just like the truth has not agreed with me many times. And that's what brought me to this place where I'm at today. Because I was able to accept the truth that didn't agree with me. You know what I'm saying? That I was just able to accept. I was able to accept the truth that wasn't able to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this ain't right. This ain't right, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of them truths that I was brought up on, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. I had to let it go. I had to let it go. At all costs, I had to let it go if I wanted to move forward. And it's going to come a time where you're going to have to let it go if you want to move forward, or you're going to stay on the Moorish American hamster wheel. You're just going to be going around a circle every year, the same thing, going nowhere. The Moorish American hamster wheel. That's it. Just going the same place. Every year, Prophet Obadiah Ali birthday celebration. Every year, a convention that do not do any checks and balances. Every year, a convention that do not say how many business we're going to start this year. Every year, not looking at how many businesses failed this year. Every year, it's just the Moorish American hamster wheel. I mean, every year showing up, marching or parading and walking and taking pretty pictures on some nice gowns and outfits. It's the Moorish American hamster wheel, over and over and over and over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though, while other people talk about Umar Johnson, he travels the globe. He travels the globe. People try to give what Umar doing a black eye. But one thing I can say, right, wrong, or indifference, agree or disagree, Umar stays on the ground. Umar got a list. I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you, I'm about to do the Umar Johnson on you. I'm about to be in every city in the United States. I'm about to do the Umar Johnson on you. Umar Johnson is everywhere. You can say anything you want about that school. You can say anything about thing you want about that bread and about how long it's taken. You can even say he worked and robbed the people. But one thing for sure, you can't say Umar Johnson let grass grow under his feet. You can't say that. Ain't no grass growing under Umar feet. Every week he in another city, every week he in another state. You can't say that. And I'm gonna tell you, in the Moors, the Moor Science Temple of America, they have no desire to go out there to the people. This is their medium, social media right here. See, I'm not gonna let you tag and peg me with being a social media face. Nah, you can do it now, but in the coming days, it's gonna be just like I started off when I used to pop up on 125th. I used to pop up in Philadelphia. I used to pop up in this place and that place. You know what I mean? This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna just start showing up. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna start talking to the people, and we're gonna turn this thing around. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? His name is Johnson. A. Johnson is a Morisco. Moriscos we are. Well, whatever it is, I don't care if he's a Morisco or if he's Cisco. Ain't no grass growing under his feet. You know what I mean? Now, that's right. Taj Tariq Bey needs to be called out by the temples and put in his place. He's one of the biggest problems. And I agree with you, Moore's truth, Moore's lies. Let me tell you something. Before me, there is nobody who had a platform as a voice would call out Taj Tariq Bey. You know what I'm saying? Nobody before me. I've been the lone soldier calling out these lies. And that's pathetic. But then they go in their little corners and they teach how much lies that someone is talking. They teach in their little corners, in their little circles. They talking about me. Tahaka Bey don't know what he talking about. He just doing that on social media. They talking about Taj in their little private little rooms. But Taj been able to do this because the Moorish Science Temple of America under different administration has been complicit. They've been a part of it. Because when you don't speak out, you're just as guilty. They are just as guilty. They seen when Taj started. He said Noble Drew Ali did not condemn dirty glass of water. Oh, he sure did. He got a speech where he said that you big preachers try to hide under the wings of the cross. You don't know the prophet El God. The God. You don't know the prophet. He sure did. And the prophet Noble Drew Ali is speaking through our Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America because it's divinely prepared. So when you read, when John talks about you preachers or you cumberers of the state, that you're nothing but you're nothing but a cancer on the state. What you talk about? Noble Drew Ali didn't condemn the dirty glass. No, he broke the dirty glass. He broke it. He broke the dirty glass. When talking to the harlots and all of that, what you talking about? Truth is but one. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is expressed through our Quran. What you talking about, El God? What Quran you reading? When Jesus faced everybody, when John got so raw, he had to get low because they want to try to take John out for telling the truth. What you mean he didn't condemn the dirty glass? No, he didn't. He broke it. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's that old soft stuff that we want to get into. We don't want to look at what is messing us up and address it. We want to say, oh, just let it keep on going. Let that influence penetrate the minds of our children. Let that influence penetrate the minds of those who want to do the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings right. Let those teachers stay on side of these teachers. No, in the Holy Quran in Mecca, it said we wield the truth at falsehood and knocks its brains out. I don't know what you're reading. We're going to knock the brains out of falsehood. Now, we're not going to have it on side by side. That's that watered down teaching that, okay, live and let live. Yeah, you can live and let live. But we at the state now where our people are dying more and more. When I say more and more, I mean it's more evident in our face with the state of social media. Man, we shouldn't be playing these games. Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't condemn the dirty glasses of water. That's just like in your house. People ain't doing what they're supposed to do to make the house be harmonized. And you sitting up there looking at your child, looking at your wife, or she looking at you, and she looking at the children and say, we don't condemn the dirty glass of water. What? We don't condemn the dirty. This is where we at. This is where we at. No, you don't have the power to necessarily condemn, but you do have the power to critique so we can do better. You do have the power to critique so we can do better. And if we don't look at our mistakes, like if I never looked at the mistakes that I made in life, I would not be able to become the person that I am today, whether you like it or not. I believe I'm better today than I was yesterday. And that took me to critique what I did yesterday. That took me to critique. You know what I mean? I had to critique what I did yesterday to be better today. I can't just say, forget what I did yesterday. It is. No, I can't forget. I got to look at what I did yesterday. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches is that to know of the higher and the lower self. And this is the uniting of the Holy Quran and Mecca. In other words, so you got to know of your lower self and to know of your higher self. If you don't know of the opposition, how can you appreciate when you rise above it? You can be wrong so long you think wrong is right. But if you can rise above it, then you can appreciate that wrong that you thought was right. But if you can't rise above it because you can't differentiate that it's all wrong, then what's the point? Then what's the point? You just gonna die in your iniquity. You just gonna die being a dumb fool. You're gonna die being ignorant. And why would you want to die being ignorant? When that's not your nature. Your nature is not ignorance. Your nature is connected to the divine. And everybody got that spark coming on. Everybody. Throughout your life, you're going to have sparks. It's going to be that awakening. And then it's up to you. Then it's up to you to move on that awakening. When you are sparked, whether I spark you, mama spark you, grandma spark you, anybody spark you, it's up to you to move on that spark. It's up to you to fuel that spark. Or that spark could go out and you have to wait till the next time around or the next time around. And sometimes while you're waiting, you don't know that you're waiting, but while you're waiting, boom, you can be gone away from here. And then you're going to repeat the same thing that you should have been got. You see what I'm saying? You're going to repeat the same thing. So when that spark comes, listen, recognize that it's the spark and help illuminate it. When Jesus talk about faith, right? When Jesus talk about faith, and the lady touched his garment, and she said, "You healed me." He said, "No, I didn't heal you. Your faith healed you." That's an indication that when you believe in something so strong, you believe that you can touch a garment and you can be healed of a disease. Jesus says it's your faith that's healed you. In other words, you can believe in something so strong that it can take you to the next level. So when that spark hits you, understand that it's that spark. I got to go this way. I got to go this way. And you got to go this way. And you can't look back. Let me give you a story real quick before I get out of here. I remember, right? I'm gonna get a little sentimental with y'all real quick. I remember probably it's been over 15 years ago, maybe. And this gonna be in my book, right? I remember like it was yesterday, though. I had been a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America in some form or another, which means I was a part of administrations. But I never really got the inspiration that will ultimately inspire me to go full force with it. I never got that. I always got the inspiration that, man, this is amazing information, that, wow, we not this, we not that, this is who we were. But it never really triggered me to go 1000% in that direction. And I can only attribute it to the schools of administrations that I was a part of. And so what I did was, this is why I feel as though that I'm a champion of the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And what I mean, I'm a champion of it. I champion those teachings. I really push those teachings. I said to myself that I'm going to empty my cup. So I said, I'm going to focus on three things. Back then, we were reading all these different letters. We was reading all this law, the book of the resurrection. We was reading all of this type of stuff. And I said to myself, I said, I'm going to focus on three things. I'm going to focus on the Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm going to focus on the questionnaire. And I'm going to focus on the Moorish literature and the divine constitution and bylaws. And so I said, I'm just going to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to focus on that and block everything else out. So for like a year, that's all I studied. You know what I'm saying? That's all I studied, right? And something hit me. I was like, whoa, I got it. I had been saying for a long time, imitate the prophet, imitate the prophet, imitate the prophet. But it really hit me that until we see ourselves like the inspiration that we follow, we will never really see this. We have to see Prophet Noble Drew Ali, if that's your inspiration, in you. Until you can see your inspiration in you, you would never really get this. You know what I mean? You would never really get this. You have to see Noble Drew Ali in you, if that's who you follow. Now, when I say you have to see Noble Drew Ali in you, I'm talking about from the time where he was condemned, how did he deal with it? When he was accused of rape, how did he deal with it? When he was accused of selling medicinal medicine when it wasn't true, how did he deal with it? When things was flowing and the powers that be was congratulating and shaking hands and cheering him on, how did he deal with it? When those in the inner circle tried to sabotage, overthrow, and ultimately physically kill him, and he knew it, just like Jesus knew what was coming, how did he deal with it? So in your personal life, you have the same journeys. You know, you're going to have in your personal life, you're going to have people who that really come to sabotage you. Has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do with the Moorish Temple of America, has nothing to do with the church, has nothing to do with anything that you subscribe to. But you're going to have people that want to sabotage you just because that's the energy. When you strive in one direction, the energy of the universe is going to send something to push you back in the other direction. But only when you overcome that do you become strong and do you become worthy of that which is yours. So that's just the duality of the universe. You know, just because you have opposition, that doesn't mean that that's the end of the road. That opposition is there by the divine to bring you over to the other side, so that which you achieve or that you obtain you'll be worthy of that. You follow what I'm saying? So the opposition is a beautiful thing. Like you should invite the opposition. You know what I mean? You should invite the opposition. So inviting the opposition, you become stronger and stronger. You become wiser and wiser. And so my story has it is that I begin to see Prophet Noble Drew Ali in myself. And I'm talking about the characteristics of how you approach life, how you approach opposition, how you approach business, how you approach spirituality. I started seeing that. And the moment that I started seeing that, that's when things begin to change. You know, and so most people in the Moorish Temple of America, you know what I mean? Most people in the Moorish Temple of America, they don't see Prophet Noble Drew Ali working through them as them. Those people that was with Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they seen it. They might didn't understand it, but they seen it. That's why they was able to accomplish unbelievable feats. You know what I mean? And went unbelievable heights in such a short period of time. The thing is, when you try to bring out the inspiration that has inspired you, as the prophet say, imitate the prophet. When you try to do that, you're going to have some opposition that you never imagined. Most people want to be friends with everybody as opposed to go in the direction that destiny has laid for you. When you go into the direction uncompromised that destiny has for you, trust me, you're gonna call the opposition to confront you. But how you deal with that opposition will be the deciding factor of your greatness. And your greatness will ripple throughout humanity, first starting with whoever you associate yourself with, your home, your friends, your workplace, but it all gonna start with you. So the meaning of this today is, I want to say that don't be shadow boxing rebuttal. I mean, let me read El God. The problem we have is God gave men and women the ability to lead themselves. People don't want to lead themselves. When will the court close? Inquiring Mondays want to know. Listen, El God, no, you said people need to lead themselves. That's good. But no man or woman is an island unto themselves. The whole universe work in unison with each and every element that exists in the universe. Every part of the universe affects another part of the universe. Every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. There is not a human being on this planet who doesn't have an umbilical cord. That means that human being was connected to another human being. Every human being is connected to each and every other human being. So you are not designed to do this by yourself. You can try it and horribly fail over and over and over. The game over part is when we learn how to do it together. That's when game over. When we learn how to tolerate and do it together. When we learn how to decipher who's for you and who's against you. When we learn how to discern the crook amongst us and the one, so we got different people amongst us. Some people are not qualified to do certain jobs. You follow me? Some people are not qualified to do certain jobs. Some people are not crooks. Some people are just not qualified. For instance, I talked about Dr. Umar. Take Umar, for example. Umar wants to build a school, but Umar is not qualified to build a school. He can finance a school, but he's not qualified to build a school. That's why it's taking so long. He's not qualified to build a school. He can invest in a school and finance a school, and he can even influence the school into his way of thought. But building a school, that's not him. That's not his lane. However, I commend the effort. So the point that I'm making is, a lot of times, people may not be crooks, but they just not qualified in the area in which they are trying to strive in. So it takes a wise person to discern, is this person a crook? Is this person a manipulator? Or is this person for me? And if this person is for me, how can I work together to make this better? Because I believe that this person is for me. I believe I can be for this person. I may not disagree with this part. I may not agree with this part, and I may disagree with that part. But how can I get with it and make it better? So when we learn to work together, it's game over. But first, we got to learn to discern. We got to have a discerning mind. You know, everybody's style ain't the same. Everybody delivery, everybody approach to this ain't the same. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, you are able to discern. You should be able to discern. If you're 30, 40 or over, you should be able to discern those who are with you and those who are against you. And if you can't discern that, you are in a bad place. Some of this beautifully sounding information, I know it tickled the ear. I know it feel good. But a lot of it is theory, and people on the internet that's talking about it ain't even moving in that direction themselves. I hit a live stream the other day. I'm about to get out of here, but I hit a live stream the other day with Brother Sanchez. And I'm gonna tell you off the top, I usually hit those live streams and people tell me I use it for promotion of Moorish World TV. I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna hoop and holler. I'm saying, I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna promote Moorish World TV. I don't care. I give myself as a living sacrifice. I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna holler, I'm gonna do everything I do to bring the attention to me so I can bring the attention to the Prophet Noble Ali and the wisdom in which we're discussing today. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, right? But anyway, some of us got to realize that many of these people are talking this talk and they're not even going in that direction. Many of these Moors that you see on social media debating, many of them are not even going in that direction. When they go home, they got fried pork chops in the pot. When they go home, their family don't respect what they say they believe in. When they go home, they don't have the cordial relationship that if their mate is not a part of the temple, that at least they respect it. I mean, come on. Come on. So at the end of the day, you know, our charity starts at home. And home is where the heart is, and the heart is in the mind. Fix you, and your energy will influence those around you. Start there. Start there. Your energy will inspire people, you know, but we got to have a discerning mind. But like I say, I think it's going to take a couple. I think it's going to take, I think it's going to take a couple more generations for the Moors to actually understand, you know. And some of these older Moors that's been around for a while, man, they burnt out. You know what I'm saying? If you have been a part of the temple and you felt like you've been played and misled, the worst thing you can do is let them burn you out. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are burnt out. They done. They cook food. Most people that's with Braswell Bay, they burnt out. I mean, I call a spade a spade. And I ain't gonna say all. I say most. They just burnt out. They don't care no more. They sitting up there with prayer beads. You know what I mean? Let me get my trading beads from Ghana. They up there with prayer beads. I'm making, I'm calling spade a spade because this is what it looked like. When we in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we taught that when man understands the inner workings, a right symbolic is introduced. This is symbolic. But people are doing it like it's the real thing. We supposed to be raised. We supposed to be raised above that in our infinite knowledge. Like we need fidget spinners. We're supposed to be divine beings, but we need fidget spinners, like children. I know y'all get mad because I tell the truth. We need fidget spinners. Man, come on, man. That ain't what the prophet saw. The prophet saw that man know he must be what he know. That when we understand a right symbolic is introduced, we still stuck on symbolic and don't even know what it means. Don't even know what it means, man. We like the babies, like the Moorish Science Temple of America and many of these ministrations. We like the babies of the awakening community. We are. I admit it. We are like the babies of the awakening community amongst our people. Real talk. Real talk. Nobody wants to get it right. Everybody want to get it right now. Soon somebody join any administration, any Moorish Science Temple of America group, the first thing they want to be is a teacher. When Jesus wrought for, John wrought for 18 years. There's 18 years missing of Jesus' life that his works of learning with his job lives in. Let somebody join the temple. 6 months, they want to be a teacher. They be on here to arguing. I'm trying to tell you, 6 months. John had to learn for 18 years. How many of us got patience to learn for 18 years? There we go. There we go. So it's going to take a couple generations. It's going to take a couple generations. The fortunate thing is that Prophet Noble Drew Ali and what he teaches is so potent. You don't really need 18 years because the 18 years is condensed into the concentrated form. And if you take it properly, learn it properly, it is powerful. But one of the first things you have to learn is to be a good teacher, you got to be a good student. I mean, you got to be a good student. And I think one of the first part of being a good student, listen to that still small voice. Listen to it. When somebody about to go left, you know it. That voice in you tells you, I don't feel right about this. I know I shouldn't be doing this. That crooked Moorish American that's about to go left, you can feel it. You know it. Listen to it. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Question them. Question them. Question them. Don't give them benefit of the doubt. Like, nah, question them. Ask them and see what happens. Ask them. Ask them about them sisters. Ask her about them brothers. Ask them about the history. Ask them about them lessons. Ask them and see what happens. Get them nervous. Get them nervous. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Get them nervous. Salvation is personal. And you got to personalize it. Salvation is personal. Liberation is personal. What that means is, as hard as you study for a test so you can drive a truck, get your CDLs, as hard as you study to become a nurse, as hard as you study to become a doctor and an attorney, as hard as you study to become any of the professions that you are in today, as hard that you study for that, you should study 3 times as harder for your salvation. Salvation is personal. Don't let nobody tell you anything. Don't let nobody lie to you. Give them the benefit, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Hurt their feelings. Hurt their feelings. Jesus give the statement that you don't want your soul condemned to hell. And condemned to hell does mean is that you've been misled and led astray in such a way you don't even know yourself, but you don't even know your way back. You don't even know your way back to the true path. Don't let nobody condemn you to hell, your soul to hell, leading you down a dark tunnel. I mean, you got a lot of them out here like that. They dress up good too. They don't even speak good, but to the untrained ear, they speak very well. To the untrained ear, man, you think they know more science, but you know the devil know just as much as the gods. You do know that, right? When the Pharaoh threw his staff down, Moses threw his staff down. Remember, they both had staffs that turned into snakes. One was the wicked snake, one was the divine snake. But they both had staffs. They both had staffs. And they staff could turn it from a stick to a snake in a minute. But one was on a high and one was on a low. The lower self is a mean machine. And they are the semblance of the truth. Remember, the lower self is a shadow. It's a shadow, which means it looks like the real thing, but it's not. This is why these sheiks and these teachers, they can talk that talk, but they can't walk that walk because it looks the same. It's a reflection. Just casting. It looks as if it's the real thing. It's not. It's not. But it's up to you to call that fake stuff out. It's a shadow of the lower self. It's a shadow. It looks like you walk down the street, it looks like it's you, somebody following you in that shadow. That ain't real. So these fake manipulators, they look real. They sound real. They tickle the ear. They dress real. Ain't nothing real about it. It's just a shadow. It's just a shadow. But you have to figure out how to bring it to the surface so you can keep it moving. So again, anybody that challenges my information that I put out from here on out, it's okay to have a discussion on a feed or in the comment section. That's okay. I have no problem with that. But don't come on my comment section saying that I'm in error about something and you're not prepared to bring a presentation to correct it before the people. Bring a presentation so you can correct me before the people. Because this is all about teaching the truth. And if you got it, and some brother said, I just blocked the brother on Facebook, Fuller Bay. This fool says that somebody asked him, well, he said, you talk about the charter and that's not right and exact. I said, well, brother, meet me tonight. Let's talk about it. He said, he tells somebody else, oh, we can't talk about that. That's ADAP information. That's ADAP information. That's a cop out too. Oh, that's ADAP. We can't talk about that. You don't even know what no ADAP is. Be quiet. Be quiet. That that's taught in the ADAP chamber. Get out of here. Get out of here. You know what I mean? That's a cop out too. You know what I mean? I don't argue. That's a cop out too. I don't debate. I debate my equals. That's a cop out too. They got a whole bunch of cop outs. You know what I mean? If all of that is true, then stay off my post. Then stay off my post, because if you come on my post, I'm going to invite you to prove me wrong. I'm going to invite you to prove me wrong. And if you decline, and you decline respectfully, you might can hang around to learn something, because you're really there to learn. But if you continue to say the same old stuff, I'm going to get you gone. I'm going to get you gone. This has been another beautiful talk with Brother Tahaka. I didn't realize I was going to be this long, but I had to get it off my chest because I see people coming on my stream talking crazy. Shout out to everybody. Again, I'm not trying to recruit anybody to come and join what we doing over here. However, if you have a desire to learn more, you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to join our Sunday class. You're just welcome. This Sunday we're going to have another. This Sunday, actually, I'm going to have a live stream exposing, if you will, and you can thank Serrano Bay from Moorish Symbol of America Incorporated. I am going to show how they are not categorically the Prophet's Moorish Symbol of America. It just don't line up. The history don't match, and it is what it is. And because that brother continues year after year coming on my posts taunting, now I'm going to turn it up. I have over 150 slides. It's going to be, I'm telling you now, for all the work I put in, it's going to be a phenomenal pay-per-view. I haven't done one in like 2 years. And this is for people who really seek truth. However, again, I'm going to have, you'll be able to download 150, let me say 130 to 150 slides. You'll be able to see some of the research, some of it that you've seen, some of it that you haven't seen. You'll be able to see the letters where Emilio files to have all the stuff returned to him when Kirkman Bay lost the case. You'll be able to see these case files. I got a few case files I'll be showing. Also, when they say Kirkman Bay was voted in, if you don't know, you will know who that was, how unofficial that was, and how they did it in private. And, you'll know the whole story. And so I'll be doing that hopefully this Sunday. I was supposed to have a debate with Sister Sheila Seabreeze Bay. I'm kind of on the fence about that because she is an elder. And my attitude right now is I'm just off with the head as it comes with this information. And I don't want to go too hard on my sister or any body for that matter. I don't want to go that hard. But my patience has run thin, and I'm telling you, this truth it can bruise some people. You know what I mean? That haven't heard it or that refuse to accept it. But it's undeniable. You can't run from it. And so I'm in the meditation stage on that debate. You know what I mean? I'm on the meditation stage. Peace out to Sean from the Shy. Uh, with that being said, family, peace and love. El God, uh, seek and you shall find. That's the best I can tell you. I don't trivialize these lessons. I just talked about the 7 liberal arts yesterday on the live stream. Go back and look at it, and you can catch it in there. That's another thing I'm not going to do. If I feel as though it's being trivialized, I'm gonna keep it moving. This is for those who don't know and want to know. If you know, then you good to go. But for those who don't know and want to know, this is what I do this for. Peace and love, family.